Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Karen Odd and these are Karen's Oddities. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Regardless, I do want to ask that you give this video a thumbs up, comment your thoughts below, even if you disagree with my content. And I also want to ask that you share this video and our channel with one person that you know, as I'm confident there is something here that they can enjoy and benefit from. We're kicking it back into my rules series. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll see that some of them say like hashtag, number, and then a statement. This is my rule series where I cover different rules that I have captured over the years. It started when I was on Instagram. I'm not on there anymore. I have a video where I mention how it's been a year since I've been off of Instagram. I'll link that in the description box below. But essentially my rule series covers rules of things that I've either experienced personally, heard in conversation, in music, while I was reading, situational based that were really important and significant to me in that time when I wrote them down. For this video, we're talking about rule number 49. So rule number 49 says, do the work, especially the deep work. What does that mean? Let's get into it. So everything is work. Everything is work. There's easy work, there's moderate, medium work, and there's heavy work. There's light work, there's deep work. Everything takes work, right? And when we think about the rule of do the work, especially the deep work, I'm not talking about the job that you wake up and do every Monday, or the second job that you go to every weekend and you work and you get paid. I'm not referring to that. Most of these rules are not referring to literal things. They're usually metaphorical, or they have much more significant meanings. And the expectation is that as I go through this video and I explain what my thought process was between me writing this, is that you will take something from it and you will apply it to your life, and it will essentially, hopefully, improve the way you live in this world that we live in. So when things are not going the way that we want them to, when we want things to change, when we want different outcomes, when we want different situations or scenarios, there is going to be work involved. Rule number 49 is not about the work of others. It's about the work of ourselves, the efforts that we put in, what we bring to the table, how we adapt to situations, how we respond to situations, how we receive situations. This is internal work, right? Recognizing when we must do the work. And when you must do the work, you have to start at the deepest level, right? Think about hair. This is not going to apply to everyone, because if you're a man and you don't get tangled hair, then you're not going to understand. But let's think, okay, let me change it. Let's think about a knot, right? Think about a knot. When there is a knot, we often want to start with untangling the pieces of that knot that are at the ends, that are like less knotted, less convoluted, less complicated. We always want to start with the easiest thing. And sometimes we do that because it makes us feel like we're making progress quicker, right? We feel better about it. Psychologically, you're working on the easiest parts of something. So psychologically, as you're seeing progress, it makes you believe that you are making progress, great progress, because something is changing, something is moving, something is improving. That's going to happen because you're focused on the easy stuff. You're focused on the light work. But where progress really lies, and where the greatest impact and change lies, is when you focus on the biggest part of the knot. You focus on the biggest source of the issue. You focus on the biggest headache. You focus on the most complicated, largest, deepest part of what is the source of this. If this is a ball, I wish I had a ball of yarn so I could show you. If this was a ball and this is a knot and there are several tiny knots at the bottom and you're undoing the tiny ones, the big one is still there. And all the tiny ones didn't happen before the big one. The big one happened, and that resulted in all the tiny knots, right? So you can address the little stuff. You can address the little stuff. You can address the light work. You can do that all day. You can do that in your sleep because it's easy. It's not challenging. And as you undo those small knots, you feel like you're doing something. But the reality is you're missing the big picture. You're missing the big knot. You're missing the source of that issue. You're missing the source of that problem. And you're not done. You're not done. You're just getting started. You're getting warmed up. But what I am suggesting is when we're doing the work, when we're trying to do the work, when we're trying to change something, when we're trying to change a circumstance, when we're trying to change our situation, you have to focus on the deepest part, the deepest root of the issue. You have to go to the source.